First, a great response, Jay. Lots of questions from the supporters. Obviously keen to speak to the players, and particularly a local lad like yourself. And there's a few on this theme. I'll kick it off with Corey Rawlinson asks, what made you come back to Burnley in the summer? And Danny says, was it always the plan to come back to Burnley? Has it come sooner than expected? Or was it perfect timing the way it just worked out?
Yeah, obviously, when I left Burnley, it's always my place, where I come from and where I've grown up. And, to leave the club was difficult. But at the time, I felt like I needed to. And I always had that thing, I would love to have come back any time, really, if it's the time's right and if it's able to happen. And thankfully it did. Obviously, there were interest over a number of years, but for other reasons, like it never happened. And thankfully it did at the time. And yeah, spoke to the manager and really keen to get to work with him, and that was it. Yeah, so that was the main thing, really.
Darcy Coates says, what's your favourite memory at Turf Moor and your favourite goal? Somebody else will talk about before and after your two periods later, but is the one from each day that sticks in your mind?
I'd say my favourite moment would have been my first goal, probably against Fulham. I think, coming on against the team, I think they were the Premier League then, and in the cup, and to win the game and to score was something that was a bit surreal, and I think probably gave me that belief that you can compete in the professional game. And I think it was something I'll always forget, that feeling, and I'll always remember. I won't never forget that feeling. So I think that was probably one that really does stand out for myself.
That was in that great cup run, of course, wasn't it? When and somebody else asks, what are your memories of scoring against Tottenham Hotspur in that cup run that sent it into extra time and then ultimately the heartache, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. It was that was another mad game. I think that was probably one of the biggest atmospheres I've experienced. At Turf Moor, I think everyone just had that feeling, that belief when we scored early and then managed to make it level. That was unbelievable. And I think we weren't sure whether we went through or not with the goals, but it weren't to be. So obviously it was the highs and lows of the game, and it was something that a big learning curve for I was only young then, and you can see the devastation in the change room afterwards. But I think maybe something else was written for us that season, and luckily we managed to go to Wembley and get promoted that year. So I think looking back, it's something that you can take away and learn from. But I think overall, you getting promotion. Your
first Premier League goal was against Chelsea, a losing goal, but still a big moment to score in the Premier League club.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, I scored for Burnley in the Premier League. It's something when I came back I wanted to do as soon as possible. So it was a nice feeling to score on a personal level, but I think overall that feeling, obviously we got beat by Chelsea, it weren't the best game. So it was kind of dampened down, and but like I said, personally, just tick that off that I've managed to score in the Premier League for Burnley. So yeah, it was a nice feeling in that sense, but it probably would have been better if we got a win.
Mark Nev asks, what do you love about your hometown?
What I love about my hometown,
bred, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. I think it's where I'm from. It's what I know, what I've known all my life, and I've lived down south, which I loved. I lived in Birmingham, which I loved. And I've always said, and my wife said when we moved away, that you can't beat home. And I think it's the people. It's a togetherness. I think, and just people being down to earth and just being normal. I think that's what we love, and that's what we are. And I think it's just something that you can't ignore. And like I said, you'll always come back, and like I said, you can't beat home.
Talking of sort of homegrown lads, and Dwight McNeil and yourself, Tom Webb asks, who should have the official rights to the "one of our own" chant? Is it you or is it Dwight?
No, Dwight can have that, because I think he's doing really well. He's a great lad as well. Down to earth, works hard, and he's got the qualities that everyone's seeing. And before I came to the club, obviously I knew about him. Shows some really good qualities, and obviously training with him and playing with him, you see how good he is. So you can have that one if you want.
So I'm just trying to similar theme at BFCMartin says, when did you realise Dwight was the second coming of Messi? I mean, he's made a great impact, hasn't it? Obviously, he started last season, and then you came back in the summer and have seen him close hand. Presumably the penny drops pretty quickly that he's a special player or can go on and become a special player.
Yeah, he is, and like I said, he's young and he's still learning. And he's willing to learn, which is really good. And I think everyone can see his qualities. You know, he's got a great left foot, and I think the more games he plays, the more he understands situations and just learns. And I think he's willing to do that. And I think the sky's the limit for him. I think if he keeps going the way he is.
Josh Willis, since you left Burnley and rejoined, how different is the club? I mean, in some ways, it's night and day, isn't it? How different have you found it coming back to?
Yeah, it is. It's you know, when I first came back to the club, I'd only seen pictures of the training ground facilities, and obviously when I turned up, it was totally different from what I used to get changed into and go up on the top pitch. And you know, the pitch facilities, it's a perfect place for a footballer to improve his game, to recover, and all the things you need really. I think in the modern day, I think they've nailed it, and I think that was the biggest difference for me, was how far it's come. And it's a well-established Premier League club, and it's great to see, and I think it deserves it, because obviously the hard work's been put in to get to this point, and I think the hard work's still carrying on.
Chris Newton asks, and a bit of a memory test as well, do you have a favourite Burnley kit you've played in? You've played in one or two down the years, one that you particularly...
What would be my first one? Would it be the one with the Hollands?
Hollands pies, I think, yeah. Which I suppose will always be...
I think...
Yeah.
It would probably be that one, because I think, even though it was probably like 10 times too big for me, because I think the kit man said that we can't have any mediums or smalls. It was always like large or extra large, and I was like stick thin. I think if it fitted better, I think that one, to be fair, because it was just nice to have that first shirt. This is proper and real, and it's what you want it to be. But yeah, it was actually massive. So
talking of strips, Luke Dempsey says, all right, Jay, if you're still living in Burnley when you're retired, you fancy game on Sundays for at AFC Weir. They play at Townley or sometimes at Baker Rec. He'll give you a lift, but it'll cost you £5 for subs and you have to take your own socks.
Yeah, that sounds all right, to be fair. I might join that, but I might have. I was thinking about playing for Burnley United, because obviously my dad used to play for him, yes. My brother plays for him, I've got mates there, so we might have to maybe come up against them on a Sunday, but it sounds all right, to be fair.
You're quite a signing for Burnley United. But of course, you started locally, didn't you, at Barrowford Celtic? Am I right in saying?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think originally started playing for Burnley, but I was a year below, so they were a year older age group, because family friends played there and stuff. So that's what got into football. And I don't think I was that interested at first, and then I started playing, and then went Barrowford, and we had a really good team there, and we did quite well. And then there were a few of us that got signed to Centre of Excellence, so we all managed to go through there, even some through to the youth team as well, which are really good. But yeah, I started at Barrowford Celtic, which is really good, that, because obviously it's a great club and it's still going, and obviously drive past it sometimes. It's nice to see where you started.
I mean, you've had a fantastic career, Jay. You're still having a fantastic career. Ben Pate says, if you were doing it all over again, would you do anything differently? I mean, any professional players, ups and downs, but has it gone as you would have hoped?
I think it's probably exceeded what I expected from the game. I always thought that it was always a bonus to be playing football, and then I think obviously to be able to have a living from it, that was the bonus really. That if I could get a living from it and carry on doing that for work, that'd be unbelievable. So anything else has been a bonus. And the only thing I would change maybe is in the early years and stuff, is to enjoy every moment, because there's so much pressure and stress. I think you can get tied up in it. You put a lot of stress on yourself, but I think that's just part of the game. I think every footballer would say the same, and it's part of the game. But no, I'd never change anything. I really enjoyed it, and I've got many more years to come and to carry on enjoying it.
Good man. Going back a little bit in time, Dave Roberts, who've been known to a few on here, does some stats and occasional co-commentaries with us. He says, do you remember being a ball boy for Ian Wright's Burnley debut back in 2000? Did you ever think that you'd follow in his footsteps? Coming up to the anniversary, of course, of that famous promotion.
Yeah, no, it was. We used to do that after we'd play a game at the week, and then we'd go on ball boy. So I do remember that we used to go around to, I think, the Cass Saffler, it's just down the road from Turf, to get the sweets and then come back. And I always remember that moment because Ian Wright was obviously the big star in football, and he came, and I couldn't believe I was seeing him walk past us like literally near touching distance, and it was always a moment that you felt like something that you'd probably never forget. And to be fair, you don't. I never thought I'd be, playing at Turf Moor and playing professionally. That's one thing I never thought growing up. I've always thought I'll just try my best and see where it takes me. And I think it only became real once, like I said, after even like the Fulham goal, that this could be something that I can take on.
On a similar theme, Joe Rogerson asks, what would your advice be to the players in the Burnley Academy at the moment that are obviously hoping to follow in your footsteps or certainly make a career in the game?
I think the main thing is to enjoy what you're doing. Don't go away from that. It's something you got to love, which I love football. But I think as well, work as hard as you can. Never leave any day where you haven't put maximum effort in, whether it's recovery or working out or on the pitch. I think if you can always say you worked the hardest, then you've done your job. And if you worked your hardest and it's not come off, then that's sometimes life. That's just part of it. That's one thing that I've been taught by my parents, is to be like that, and I think it helps with stress and expectations, really. As long as you put everything into it, then you should be fine. Talking
to your parents, Kiko's obviously involved in football now, and I know he's doing good things. There's a question here from Frank Entwistle, who you'll know, and it was asked, did your dad buy you fish and chips last Friday? But I think your dad answered on that behalf, and he said no. So that's probably a routine. No. If you're able to get together. Oh, not on a Friday night, you wouldn't be eating fish and chips, would you?
No, that's it. Obviously Friday nights are normally pasta nights and early night, to be honest. But no, I ain't seen. Obviously, I've been FaceTiming him, but I haven't been round to see him. Obviously, with the lockdown and stuff, so it's he's not been able to buy me fish and chips. But to be fair, I'd take that offer. To be fair, he's not often he buys them. So.
He was quick with the answer. He was quick to say no. Yeah. No. Again, I don't know if you know Nick Houghton, but he says, "Did you finally master the satnav on that smart car, Jay?"
Nick Houghton.
Did you have a smart car once upon a time?
Yeah, so
Barnsley had one. I know that.
Yeah, so my wife, I think it was just before we moved to Southampton, and she wanted to just get a car to. She weren't driving that much, and it was funny because as soon as we got the car, we moved to Southampton, and then there was one time we obviously packed everything up, and it was just me and Simone in the car, and everything's like the chat of its suitcases behind us, and it was probably one of the most dangerous rides down Southampton I've ever had. And I remember both we pulled over in the services and just looked at each other and just started laughing, like, what are we doing here? But yeah, I did manage to get sorted. It was fine. We managed to get there in one piece.
And another one might be a bit of a throwback, Jane. Somebody, I guess, Sean Horrocks. Do you still have a Lilo? And with a hashtag and J's from España? It's a bit of a history going back to there when you were boys.
Yeah, it is. We used to knock about together growing up, and there were like groups of us that used to just knock about. We used to call each other all sorts, and it was just part of it. But Sean Horrocks used to say he had best left foot in Burnley at the time. He probably still says it now, to be fair. He did have a good left foot, to be fair to him. But no, yeah, I still got my Lilo just in case. And so my family as well.
We'll leave it at that. I think there's probably a private message in there. Jude Bamford asks, who's your favourite team to play against? I know there's certain clubs you seem to play against and you scored against, and I've got in my mind somewhere that is it Bournemouth that you scored a lot of goals against Bournemouth, I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah, it is. It's a strange one, that. It's every time I come up against Bournemouth, I've always scored, and there was a private little joke with Jason Tyndall. He said, like, every time I play against him, he's always like, you've done it again. But no, it's a nice stadium, nice club. And it's always something that you look forward to. It's really intimate stadium and pitch, and it's good. But yeah, sometimes you just find it where you play against teams and you always score. So yeah, that's that one.
Just a question here from Wonderful Wood 9, and it just leads to another one as well. So, what was your reaction to seeing Burnley going from the Championship to the Premier League and then into Europe when you were obviously watching from a bit of a distance? And obviously you just missed out on Europe. I guess it would be fantastic if you could add that to your Burnley CV before you finish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was unbelievable to see, Burnley get promoted into the Premiership. It's like where they belong, and then to improve on that, which is Europe, was unbelievable, and it was such a credit to the lads and the staff and the club that the way they've pushed it forward and to get to that, it was a unbelievable achievement. And I think the thing is that we all want that again, and to be able to push for Europe hopefully and keep looking upwards is the main thing, is to keep improving. So definitely we'll keep working hard to get that.